Game there. All right, all morning long GMJ is on the road in downtown Jacksonville this time around. So let's send things back out live to Riverfront Plaza. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Jess. Look, we could not be here live in downtown at the Riverfront Plaza without having this guy on this morning. This is Jeffrey. So let me tell you, his design has taken on a life of its own. You can't get a close shot, but you've likely seen this. Lerp, love, who knows? We're going to delve into all of that. So this sculpture is so cool. I know a lot of you are loving it, but the designer himself, who won this contest from here in downtown Jacksonville, he is here. His name is Jeffrey. Jeffrey, we want to delve right into it. Tell us about the concept behind this. It's so cool, and again, it has taken on a life of its own.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We are on the site of actually the design competition that happened almost over a year ago to develop this amazing property that was once the landing, right? And so the sculpture was part of the component of the overall development of the park. And so the concept of the sculpture was really about the Jacksonville and its history with the love of the river. And this idea of the St. John sort of emerging from the landscape up into the air and creating three elements. The first element, which is like an anchor, the second one is which is like heart, and the third one is this idea of an infinity. The anchor being sort of this idea of an anchor city to Florida, but also the gateway to the US. This idea of the love of the city and this idea of infinity, that the story of the Jacksonville River continuously will always go on into the future. But when you put all three elements together, people look at it and it either could say love, I love Jax, or Jax, or what people are calling it, Lerp, Derp, Love, Lex, whatever you want to call it. But it's this idea that the skyline and the sculpture are really one of the same, and this becomes a new skyline component of the city, just like you see in other major cities around the world. And I've been doing this around the world. Like, I've been doing these major giant sculptures, including a sculpture in my homeland, the Philippines, which is going to be taller than the Statue of Liberty. The world's largest heart, which will be in South Florida, which will be 10 stories tall. And hopefully this, the Jacksonville love, or whatever people want to call it.
Jax.
Here, right where we're standing now.
Yeah.
So.
I was going to ask you about that. This is not your first big project. You have the big projects that are going on. One in Port St. Lucie, is that right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that one too.
So Port St. Lucie is this, for a community called Tradition. This is idea of when you, it's like the idea of when you go home, the home where the heart is. So I wanted to create the world's largest heart. So it's essentially the St. Louis Arch, but in a form of a heart.
Wow.
And you can actually go up into it, and there's sort of a bridge, and you can see it as part of it. Yeah. And then my giant sculpture that I mentioned in my homeland in the Philippines, which will be 24 stories, that taller than the Statue of Liberty. So
Jeffrey, we've got to talk about a timeline, because we've all seen this, right? Plenty of times. A lot of us love it. I want to know what do we know about a timeline? When can we actually see this become a reality?
Well, ironically, I was here for River Jam.
Okay.
We had a tent here to kind of get community input. So as you know, the park is currently under development. There's a new hotel project that's part of this. So there's a lot of things issued related to the site. And what we needed to do was sort of adjust the idea a bit to sort of figure out how we can appropriately locate it here on the site with sort of the new constraints that are coming here. And we're kind of getting community input. So we've been coming back to the community, getting people's ideas on the current design, how do we modify it to adjust to it, to sort of today's conditions, and just kind of create new excitement again for this city.
That's wonderful. Thank you for being here this early this morning. We're very excited, of course, to have you. Like Keith said, the show is not complete without the man behind the Jax Love Lerp statue.
Well, one day, I mean, what I want to say is that, when you say Eiffel Tower, Arc de Triomphe, the Statue of Liberty, the Bean, and then whatever you want to call this, I didn't have to tell you what city it is, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So every city needs an icon, and hopefully this becomes one for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You know who just fell in love with you with one conversation? Meteorologist Lauren Mountain-Krantz. She couldn't stop talking about Jeffrey. She was like, wait until you guys meet him. She loves you. Let's check in with her.
Hey. Good morning, everyone. Jeffrey, thank you for being here. Katie and Keitha, I'm jealous of you because Jeffrey and I had a really good conversation yesterday. And, he says he wants to make something where folks want to come to downtown Jacksonville and take a picture of that Jax Lerp sign. You know what? It's really cool stuff. Thanks, Jeffrey. And folks, if you've ever been